Everybody asking me, big guy, how do you feel about the Beat the Clock challenge? Who do I think is gonna win it? Well, here it is. I don't care. The big guy can beat every single person on this roster, so the Beat the Clock challenge is pointless because I'm gonna win anyways at TLC. I don't care if it's Mark Henry, The Big Show, Chris Jericho, Dolph Ziggler. I don't care. I will win. I will come out on top at TLC because I am the king of this brand. So try and stop me at TLC. Ryback rules. Well, the big guy is sending out a statement to everybody in the back that he doesn't care. He doesn't care who wins the Beat the Clock challenge. And speaking of the Beat the Clock challenge, that has been the theme of our recent Smackdown shows, and it will continue to be that theme in the next couple of episodes. You guys have been sending in your requests for the Beat the Clock challenge. We'll get into that in a moment, as we are here with main event for this week, as CM Punk takes on The Miz. The Great Khali will take on Sin Cara. Truth and Xavier Woods are in action again. This time they're taking on, well, the Red Hot 3MB. They've been on a bit of a winning roll themselves, 3MB. So two Red Hot tag teams taking each other out. Who comes out on top? We'll find out. So CM Punk versus The Miz. CM Punk gets to win. Unfortunately, we will not play a match of main event this week, thanks to the Beat the Clock challenge, as Sin Cara, he defeats the Great Khali. I was going to call him the Big Khali. It's the Great Khali, as Truth and Xavier Woods. They beat 3MB, so perhaps they are the #1 tag team. I think so. Here we go. This week's Smackdown. Tyson Kidd, Justin Gabriel take on the Los Matadores, as Diego and Fernando try and take down Tyson Kidd and Gabriel. The first of two Beat the Clock challenge matches, Dolph Ziggler versus Wade Barrett, two bitter rivals. They've been going at it for weeks and weeks. Who comes out on top when it's all or nothing? It's all on the line. Who is the better man? The Intercontinental Champion versus Dolph Ziggler. Well, the Rhodes Brothers, they're going to take on the Usos. Ryback is in action. He's going to take on Christian, who is eliminated from the Beat the Clock challenge after his slow time against Alberto Del Rio. Natalya, Oksana, and Summer Rae will be in a triple threat matchup. And the #1 contender, of course, is Summer Rae, so that should be interesting. And the second of our Beat the Clock challenges, Chris Jericho versus The Big Show, as per requested from the viewers. Heavily requested, actually, Big Show versus Chris Jericho. And we'll go ahead. Of course, we're going to play the two Beat the Clock challenge matches as Los Matadores, they knock off Kidd and Gabriel. It's a bit of an upset, I think. And the Usos, they beat the Rhodes Brothers. Ryback knocks off Christian, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway if Christian won, because he would have lost. And Oksana, she wins the triple threat. Summer Rae, she may be the #1 contender, but she's not stringing together the victories like she probably should. So, of course, the time to beat is 4 minutes, 22 seconds, and 12 milliseconds. I don't know if it's going to go down to that far, but 4 minutes and 22 seconds is the time to beat, so keep that in the back of your mind. 4 minutes and 22 seconds. Dolph Ziggler versus Wade Barrett. Now, let's go back to Survivor Series, and actually after Survivor Series, where Dolph Ziggler, he tried to knock off Wade Barrett. He tried to win the Intercontinental Championship, and he was unsuccessful. These two guys have been bitter rivals in the last few weeks, and what better way for Dolph Ziggler to get payback on Wade Barrett than to not only beat him in the Beat the Clock challenge, but set the fastest time, and perhaps go on to TLC to take on Ryback. That should be interesting. Here is Wade Barrett. Now, wouldn't this be interesting? Wade Barrett wins the Beat the Clock challenge. Champion versus champion at TLC. Would you put both belts on the line? That could be interesting. I don't know. But the World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line, so maybe Wade Barrett will get a pass, but maybe Ryback or perhaps Randy Orton can convince one of the two to put both championships on the line as the clock starts. Here we go. Dolph Ziggler versus Wade Barrett. Go back to Survivor Series. Wade Barrett beat Dolph Ziggler, and of course Wade Barrett has been beating Dolph Ziggler, I think, in every single opportunity that he's had, except I think Dolph Ziggler beat Wade Barrett once, and that was to get himself in the Survivor Series pay-per-view for the #1 contendership and get himself a title match against Wade Barrett, and ever since Wade Barrett has had Dolph Ziggler's number, he scouted him out, he knows how to beat Ziggler, so will that replicate into this match? Now, these two guys have faced each other numerous times in recent weeks, so you have to say they probably know how to beat each other and beat each other quickly. So I think perhaps we could see a good time here. 4 minutes 22 is the time to beat, of course, so I really appreciate you guys as well for sending in your Beat the Clock Challenge requests. Throughout the whole last Smackdown video, tons of you were requesting many matches, so really appreciate that. Now, if your match didn't get played, or if I didn't play your matches in the next 2 episodes, well, this one and the next one, I apologize. I had a look at the requests, but I also took into consideration of my own mindset, my own thinking towards it, but I did take some of your requests, like the Big Show versus Chris Jericho. That was a heavily requested one from the viewers, and I thought, well, you know what? That makes sense. So I'm trying to do matches that kind of make sense. So what has happened in the recent couple of months? Who's squared off many times in recent memory? 2 rivals or 2 old rivals go at it to kind of get themselves in the title picture. I think that's what makes more sense, and I think that's how you should book a Beat the Clock challenge. It should be a challenge and a whole tournament as a whole, but inside the tournament you have many rivals and many competitors and competitions amongst each other. That kind of makes it a little bit more interesting. So that's why I'm doing Dolph Ziggler versus Wade Barrett here. I think that's a pretty cool matchup, as we're just about to approach the 2-minute mark. So 4 minutes 22, so around about halfway. These two guys need to probably think about trying to work each other down to get their finishing maneuver in pretty soon. I mean, anything under 4 minutes I think is going to be a very tough time to beat. I mean, Mark Henry's 4 minutes and 22 seconds is a pretty solid time. Of course, he knocked off Sheamus last Smackdown episode, I should say. So he got a very good time, and of course Christian, he got 6 minutes and 41 seconds against Alberto Del Rio. That was the first match of the challenge. So unfortunately Christian and Del Rio are both out. Sheamus and Henry will be out if Wade Barrett can, or Dolph Ziggler can beat that time right here. So one of these two guys has a great opportunity. We have 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. So Ziggler going for a few heart stoppers here. Here we go. Oh, there's the third elbow straight to the heart. Here we go, Ziggler. Ziggler might put Wade Barrett away here. Here we go. And if Ziggler wins, perhaps he'll be the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Champion as well if he doesn't beat Ryback or doesn't win the challenge. But wait a minute. Tilt-the-world slam. Barrett reverses Ziggler's finisher. 2, 3. That is it. Oh my goodness. What a time. 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Are you kidding me? Wow. Wow. What a time from Wade Barrett. He has absolutely smashed Mark Henry's time. And poor old Dolph Ziggler, he had the finisher. He was ready to go. He was ready to hit the zigzag. He was ready to finish Wade Barrett right there and there. Wade Barrett reverses, gets the finisher, hits the tilt-the-world slam. 1, 2, 3, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. That is it. Wade Barrett is in the lead. The Beat the Clock challenge. That means Mark Henry is also eliminated from the competition, as well as Dolph Ziggler. So Wade Barrett gets one up on Dolph Ziggler again. So we have one more Beat the Clock challenge match. That is coming up next. But I tell you what, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Good luck to everybody else, because that is probably, that's almost unbeatable. I can't see anybody beating that. God damn, what a match. Quick match. So that's what you want, quick match. But my God, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. That is unbelievable. Wow. Alrighty. So this next one, Chris Jericho versus The Big Show. Like I said, heavily requested from you guys. So we will try and, in the next episode, I've tried to take in your considerations as well. So that should be good to see. So hopefully you guys get what you want, get something what you want. I know a few of you guys requested some guys like Kane and CM Punk. Like, they're not even on SmackDown, guys. Kane was quite heavily requested. He's not on SmackDown, he's on Raw. SmackDown only. You know, I kind of like to keep the brand extension alive in my universe mode. Like, only the tag team and the Divas compete on the same show, but as for the mid-card and the world title scene, main event scene, it's just exclusive to SmackDown and Raw. So no Kane, no CM Punk, no Stone Cold Steve Austin like someone requested. I think I've had some Rated R Superstar Edge requests as well. No, just big old Big Show. That'll do. So Big Show versus Chris Jericho. Go back to it. So the Big Show just lost his World Heavyweight Championship to Sheamus, who then lost it to Mark Henry a week later. The Big Show was trying to get himself back in contendership. He lost again at SummerSlam, and then after that, to get himself in the main event of Night of Champions, he had to beat Chris Jericho in a #1 contenders match. Chris Jericho just arrived, and the Big Show was able to knock off Chris Jericho a couple of times to get himself in that main event match. And of course, Big Show went on to fail against Mark Henry. And then again, Chris Jericho had a #1 contenders match, this time with Ryback. Ryback beat Chris Jericho, and then Ryback went on to win the World Heavyweight Championship and is still the World Heavyweight Champion. So Chris Jericho could have been in that position. He has a bit of a bogey, can't win #1 contenders matches. Will that all change here in the Beat the Clock Challenge? So my money would be on the Big Show here, because Chris Jericho cannot win a big match to save himself. We've already talked about this many times in Universe Mode, but Chris Jericho cannot win the big one. And Big Show taking it to Jericho right now as he plants him down to the mat. So Big Show's kind of been doing a bit of tag team gig with Rey Mysterio, and I actually went and decided to change Rey Mysterio from a Raw superstar to SmackDown. So Rey Mysterio is now on SmackDown. Now, I think, I kind of forgot all about Rey Mysterio. He kind of got lost in the shuffle on Raw, and he's probably on SmackDown more than Raw anyway. So Rey Mysterio now on SmackDown. So he will be in the Beat the Clock Challenge, and that will be next episode. So who he will face, well, you're going to have to wait and see. You have to watch the next episode. But he will be in the Beat the Clock Challenge, and he is now officially a SmackDown superstar. But the Big Show and Rey Mysterio, they've been tagging up, they've been teaming up, and they tried to make a play for the tag team titles. No luck, but I think he's had a bit of a decent run as a tag team wrestler. Now he's got an opportunity to get himself back in the world title matchup, which is very, very important for the Big Show. He hasn't been world champion for a while now. He hasn't had a singles match really for a while now either. So this is a bit odd, this is a bit different for him. As we approach the 2-minute mark, keeping in mind Wade Barrett 3 minutes and 4 seconds. So they've only got a minute to put each other away. These two guys have faced off many times. Just like Barrett and Ziggler, they should know each other's game, should know how to put each other away very, very quickly. So this should be interesting to see. As Jericho throws the Big Show over the top rope. Now that's one place you do not want your opponent to be. You want him to be in the mat so you can finish him. So being outside the ring doesn't do anybody any favors except for Wade Barrett. So Wade Barrett will probably be watching this one in the back saying, yes, 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 yes. Trying to, he's probably screaming yes, taking Daniel Bryan's gimmick. And he's probably very happy these two guys are beating the crap out of each other outside the ring. As the 4 count arises. I tell you what, they've only got about 25 seconds to win this one because it's just about over. Wade Barrett's about to win this one. Of course, the match will continue until it is all over and said and done. So we do get a definite winner because the game obviously doesn't recognize the time. There's no time limit on the game. But 10 seconds to go. Can one of these two guys hit something? Here we go. And, well, that's about it. That is it. Wade Barrett stays alive. This match is ineffective. That means that it doesn't matter who wins, what time they set, it will not be good enough to win the Beat the Clock Challenge. So that means that, unfortunately, the Big Show and Chris Jericho have both been eliminated from this tournament. So, a bit of an upset. I thought these two would probably be up there with the favourites. So, interesting there. But we will find out who wins this one and what time they do get, because I would like to make a placing for the tournament. So, obviously, Wade Barrett, let's say he's 3 minutes is the fastest in the tournament, then let's say 5 minutes is the second. Sorry, Mark Henry's is the second fastest with 4 minutes 22. So Barrett first, Henry second, and so on. So we have an idea how well everybody did in this tournament. As the walls of Jericho is, you kind of always knew the rope break was coming with the Big Show, 7 foot tall, so hard to beat. Code breaker, that could be it. Here we go. Jericho's got the Big Show down. Should be it. Here we go. 4 minutes and 4 seconds. No! Big Show kicks out at 2 of the code breaker. And wait a minute. Uh-oh. Oh, WMD. Knockout punch. Well, that is it, I think. Yes, it is. So the code breaker is not enough. But the WMD is for the Big Show. And 4 minutes, 15 seconds, 29 milliseconds. That is the time for the Big Show. So that means he has actually beaten Mark Henry. So Big Show is currently in second place, which means absolutely nothing. It's a consolation prize. Pat on the back. Big Show celebrating, but you probably realise that, hey, well, there you go. I think he's realised I've lost. Not good enough, but whatever. I won the match. I did alright. That's all that matters at the moment. Maybe next time. So, Wade Barrett is currently in first place. Who will win the Beat the Clock Challenge? Find out in the next Smackdown. What's going to happen next, right before TLC? Find out in the next few episodes of Universe Mode. Guys, thanks very much for watching. And you know what you got to do. Facebook, Twitter, like, follow, subscribe to the YouTube. Do everything you got to do. Have a great day, and I'll see you next video.